Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front row access you won't want to miss.
And Alex Palou sneaks around Marcus Ericsson.
In Indiana, speed is more than sport. It's an engine for the economy. It's where tradition meets innovation.
Drivers, start your engine!
At 230 miles per hour. But the real story goes beyond the checkered flag, the teams, the technology, the thousands of high-tech jobs, and a supply chain that stretches from Main Street to the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry that helps drive the Hoosier economy. Welcome to Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick. Presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, LiUNA, and the Indiana Association
Hello
of
and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from the world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Preparations underway now that May is here. It's May in Indianapolis, and we are going to be here all month long for our annual Business at the Brickyard series. 4 weeks of reporting on the impact of motorsports on the Indiana economy.
Alex Palou could be on for his first oval and his first Indy 500 as he comes off turn 2.
We'll go behind the checkered flag to take a look at the impact, because it is more than speed. It is an industry, an identity, and it's a story that is an important part of the Hoosier economy.
Caution is out. Palou will win.
Motorsports fuels jobs, investment, tourism, and technology statewide. It's estimated the Indianapolis Motor Speedway specifically generates more than $1 billion annually in economic activity. The month of May alone accounts for more than $560 million of that total. More broadly, Indiana motorsports generates an estimated $7 to $8 billion in impact, supporting as many as 40,000 jobs statewide. That includes racing, manufacturing, engineering, R&D, and the full supply chain.
Every 2,000, 2,500 miles, we take the engine out and rebuild it and put the new engine, the rebuilt engine, back in.
More than 500 motorsports companies are located in Indiana. Roughly 80% of IndyCar teams are based in the state, many within a short drive of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I'm pleased to be joined now by the president of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and IndyCar, Doug Boles. Doug, great to see you as always.
Good to see you. Getting set up here for open tests. It's ready to go. May's right here.
May's here, an exciting time to be sure. We're doing a lot on the economic impact, which a lot of people understand, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the impact there. But as you look more broadly about the economic impact of motorsports, it continues to grow in Indiana.
Yeah, we did an economic impact study a couple of years ago, and it's well over $1 billion of economic impact. That's really driven by the fact that the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is here in central Indiana. And people know ticket sales and the things that happen here, but all the teams, all the support, the suppliers, that all is what really drives that economic impact number up, and it continues to get better every year.
Now, I know you mentioned ticket sales. I got to ask you, everybody's wondering about a sellout. And I know we talked a few weeks ago, you thought a sellout might be announced early in the month. Any update?
Yeah, I think it's that. So last year we announced the sellout the Tuesday leading into the 500. I definitely think we get it ahead of that, so it should be here sometime in the next couple of weeks. We actually had to add seats that we haven't had to add before to really deal with the demand for the Indianapolis 500. So I definitely think our grandstands will be sold out once again, and who knows about GA. Just depends on when that grandstand sale date happens.
As you look at the investment in this facility, which is amazing, you look at the age, the longevity, to see the shape it's in, it is really amazing. That comes with continual upkeep, and I know you got some big projects.
Yeah, so we have a $6.5 million audio project that's going to take us a couple of years to do, and we've done a little of that last year. We did a bunch of it this year on the south end of the racetrack, which really allows our fans to hear the PA better when cars are running, but also has to be able to bounce when there aren't cars running. You don't want to blast somebody out. So a lot of work there, and obviously those are out in the winter. We've done some railings, handrails for people getting in and out of grandstands. We've done some work on just the substructure of our E and B and A penthouses. So we've done some work down on the south end of the track as well.
And this is a massive property. The golf course is a real asset here as well. I know you're doing some upgrades there. Is there a possibility that could be the site of maybe a future high-profile event?
Well, one of the things that we've really wanted to focus on is making sure that golf course is as good as it can be. Roger's really allowed us to invest in it. Mark Miles plays golf and is really out there as well, just making sure. And what we want to do is make sure that if somebody wanted to come along and have a big event here, that there's not a lot of work they'd have to do. They can come in and plug and play here at the Brickyard. So we are definitely looking forward to something like that in the future.
Doug Boles, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as always, thanks very much.
Thank you.
It is time for the Indy 500.
Well, certainly one of the highlights of a trip to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. It is, by all indications, a brand new speedway, marking its first year since a massive $60.5 million renovation. When you talk about economic impact, the museum tells us nearly 250,000 people from all 50 states and more than 25 countries have visited the venue in the first year post-construction. The museum is now viewed as a tourist destination for Indianapolis and the state of Indiana. It includes a focus on education. Some 20,000 students have attended field trips at the new museum so far.
We constantly have schools coming in and field trips and homeschool day and family day. And this new renovated museum has become highly interactive. And so there's really something for all generations to come in here and really get an understanding of it. And for young people to really understand what goes on in the pits and how a tire comes off the car, or any of those different attributes. It's always exciting to attract them.
The Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum is celebrating a birthday. It was founded 70 years ago this month, May 1956. Well, coming up.
This is the first Indy 500 season. The Arrow McLaren is in its brand new racing center. We'll show you how it's shifting their training into higher gear.
And welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well, how do you turn a mechanic into an athlete? That's the goal of the Arrow McLaren pit crew that is now training at the team's new headquarters in Indianapolis. Business of Health reporter Kylie Valletta gives us an inside look.
Thanks, Gary. May is certainly a spectacle in Indy, but it's also a grind for racing teams. We're at the brand new McLaren Racing Center to see how the team keeps their fitness routine on track. For IndyCar mechanics, this is a different kind of body shop.
If you look up and down pit lane, especially even on our team, they don't all look like they're in shape. Not like every firefighter looks like the one that you see in the pinup calendars, right? They're all come in different shapes and sizes.
The pit crew workout at the brand new McLaren Racing Center is helping Ryan Harber lead a shift in mindset for the mechanics.
It's been a mentality change over the years, trying to get them to view themselves as athletes and take care of themselves that way too, from anywhere from sleep, hydration, their ability to recover from event to event, because we race every weekend nowadays. So it's really been a big culture change.
This is his second season training the pit crew as head of human performance, health, and wellness for the Arrow McLaren IndyCar team. The new headquarters means a brand new on-site fitness center for mandatory workouts, plus pit stop practice in a new mock pit lane 5 days per week.
There's a practice pit stop car that we actually drive into a pit box and have the do the tire changes, fuel plug in, air jack, and send it. But really, it's more about having the resilience and the ability to handle that pressure, to handle the challenge, to lean in when the chaos is around you. That's why I have them work out.
Beyond the body, it's training a mechanic's mind for the pressures of pit lane.
Some of them grew up karting, others just like working on cars, they're gearheads. There are very few that actually played a whole lot of team sports growing up, which has been really eye-opening. So I've really had to, a lot of those guys haven't been in those pressure situations. They haven't learned how to move on from failure and deal with that sort of stuff. If you have a bad pit stop, all of a sudden you have 30 minutes to sit there and think about it. The next play mentality is, think about it, all right, now what, so what, now what? How do we move on? So that's really more of a mental game than anything, not necessarily the physical aspect.
The Super Bowl of street races, the Long Beach Grand Prix, just no place like this on the schedule.
And life on the road, as IndyCar often travels cross-country back-to-back weekends, means recovery is also important for pit lane.
Inhale.
So they're really industrial athletes, if you think of it in that terms. They're constantly bent over a car in a flex position. So I see a lot of chronic lower back pain, chronic neck pain.
But May is more of a mental than physical load as teams fight for one Sunday to be the best in the world.
I try to tell myself, and I try to tell them, focus on the things that you can control, because the month of May will certainly wear on. But I'll say everybody's got their eye on the prize for the 500.
And the team is certainly in good hands with Ryan. He's been working in IndyCar athletic training for 20 years. Gary, back to you.
Kylie sits down one-on-one with Tony Kanaan for a look at how his intense workout routine has taken him seamlessly from the driver's seat into his new role as team principal at Arrow McLaren, and he has no plans of slowing down.
Started 33rd the last 2 years. Last year we watched him pick his way through the field.
Well, that is a very familiar face and voice for race fans and television viewers alike. Dave Calabro's amazing career has spanned decades as a sports journalist and as the voice of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, manning the public address system here at the world's greatest race course. And we are lucky to have Dave as part of the IBJ media team with his Playmakers podcast. Dave recently sat down with a real playmaker, both on and off the track, Alex Palou.
If you can get Erickson, get him.
This is as close as he's been. He'll take a look to the inside, and Alex Palou sneaks around Marcus Ericsson.
Just 1 year ago, life changed for Alex Palou.
Caution is out. He has won the Indianapolis 500.
You just won the Indy 500, man.
The Spaniard led 14 laps to grab the biggest title in racing history, Indy 500 champion. And that moment is forever etched in his heart and soul.
As humans, we want to be surrounded by the people we love, right? And it just exponentially makes everything better. So I was super happy and I was screaming, but I wanted to share it with someone else. So when I got out of the car and I saw my team running towards me, how happy they were, these big mechanics crying, that you're like, dude, I did not think that you would cry for a race, but it's just like that love for the race and how happy and proud they are about the work that they've done. That's what stands out for me the most.
1, 2, 3.
He recently sat down at the Hall of Fame Museum to talk about his rise to the top. He's now a marked man, the driver to beat again this race day.
You always have pressure. Like we at the end of the day, we're drivers. They pay us to win. That's it. That's our only job. It's our only job. All the rest doesn't matter. It's all about winning. The pressure is still there. Yeah, I won in 2025, but who cares? Because I mean, I need to do it again in 2026. Indy 500 is different. It's the only race that you win once and you already earn a spot at this trophy. But still, I need to win again. Otherwise, yeah, I won't be doing my job.
Despite the very public demands of his job, Palou is a private person. He escapes the limelight just being a husband and a dad, and he says his 2-year-old daughter helps him keep it all in perspective.
When I have a bad race, I remember Phoenix this year. I had a bad race, and you're down, and you're like, man, like, wow, man, like my life is so hard, blah, blah, blah. And then you just go with her. She just wants to play with you. She doesn't care if you finish first or 32nd. Like, who cares?
Unconditional love.
Yes, and that part has helped me a lot.
And joining me now is the man himself, Dave Calabro. Dave, great to see you.
Hi, Gary.
Alex Palou.
I know.
Is, quite a guy.
Isn't he amazing?
Yeah.
This guy has a chance to be a generational talent. I'm talking like A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti. Yeah, he's won 3 out of the first 5 races this year. He's won 11 out of 22 races.
Wow.
That's 50% of his races, Gary.
Yeah.
Guys don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So he's a great kid.
Yeah.
Very humble. It's going to be fun to see what he can do this May once again.
Well, what makes him special in your view?
Well, he's very all these guys are very competitive and gals, but he has this switch that goes on. He knows how to be there at the right moment. Think about he only led 14 laps last year, but he knows how to be in the right place at the right time, and he never makes any mistakes.
Yeah. May is here.
Yeah.
Dave, special for you. How many years?
Oh gosh,
now?
Gary, this is so much fun. I'll be on the microphone here at the Speedway. My 41st year goes way back to the 80s when Tom Carnegie, the legend, asked me as an intern if I would help out a little bit. I skipped my finals at Butler. Sorry, and I did graduate eventually, and
it's worked out.
And here we are all these years later.
What makes May special for you, Dave?
Well, I grew up in the West Side, just over the grandstands here. I used to ride my bike here as a kid. I parked cars here, came here, ate the fried chicken, and now I get to be a small part. It's a blessing to be a part of this.
It's great to have you as part of the IBJ team as well, Dave. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the month and beyond.
Yeah, check out Playmakers wherever you get your podcasts.
It's hard to explain a vibe, but Old Red is when you walk in, and it's kind of got its own state of mind.
Running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust.
Well, coming up, a big name country artist has big plans for Indiana. That and much more news happening outside of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway when we return.
You get nervous before, but the second the event begins, the stress just goes away and it becomes just pinpoint focus on the job at hand.
Well, fans of IndyCar may not know his name, but Aaron Likens has one of the tallest tasks in the series. Likens is the chief starter for IndyCar, known for his fancy flag work and role of directing drivers traveling around 200 miles per hour beneath him. He has also shared his journey with autism through his 2024 book, Playing in Traffic, which we featured, our business at the Brickyard show. Filming is currently underway on a documentary with the same name, highlighting Aaron and his journey from that diagnosis to the flag stand. It's expected to release next year.
If you look up at the flags of the track, I hope you see that there's one little flag nerd's dream.
Well, it is a powerful visual display at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hundreds of flags flying around the perimeter and throughout the grounds at IMS. An Indianapolis company is the official flag supplier of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Flags for Good launched in 2020. Founder Michael Green tells us when he moved to Indianapolis, he was really moved by seeing so many checkered flags on businesses and homes throughout Indianapolis. It really helped him fall in love with the city. Green says his company had been an IMS licensee for a number of years before being approached about a partnership, and now it is the official flag supplier.
It seems like a giant event, but the IMS is made of local people like me and like all the team here at the track. We're just Indy natives trying to put on one of the world's largest events and make it incredible, which every year it always is.
The flags are made with Ciclo polyester, which won't release microplastics and is more eco-friendly. Well, there's lots of business news happening outside of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway this week, including country star Blake Shelton making a big bet on Indiana.
It's literally top quality talent that we're going to bring here, that we're going to find here.
Blake Shelton's Old Red Bar, restaurant, and live entertainment venue, inspired by the country star's hit by the same name, is the latest addition to the burgeoning Fieldhouse District in downtown Indy. It will occupy space spanning 3 separate historic buildings directly west of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and Live Nation Theater, now under construction across from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Construction work on the redevelopment of the Meridian Street buildings expected to start later this year, with an opening targeted for late 2027. Indiana Governor Mike Braun wants to use artificial intelligence to grow jobs and investments statewide. This week, the governor announced the launch of INAI, an initiative that will work directly with employers statewide to accelerate AI adoption. It's a program the state expects to reach more than 1 million Hoosiers.
I'm interested in high-wage jobs coming from it, even if we lose some of the lower-wage, mundane jobs associated with what it's going to replace, because high wages, job growth is going to be the North Star that drives economic development.
A milestone moment. That's how Deaconess Health System CEO Sean McCoy describes plans for a $150 million comprehensive cancer center at the Deaconess Gateway campus in Newburgh. The Evansville-based health system says the Sinelli Cancer Center ultimately employing around 250 people.
Well, the month of May certainly is a month-long celebration throughout the state of Indiana. IMS porch parties are spreading statewide. We'll talk fan engagement, tradition, and more when we return. Well, welcome back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It will be about 3 weeks before hundreds of thousands of fans crowd the grandstands here at the world's greatest race course for the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. But you don't have to wait until then to experience the excitement and some of the history of this great event. Porch parties are back. They started in 2016 with the 100th running of the race, giving fans the chance to get an up-close and personal look at the Borg-Warner Trophy, show cars, and a lot more. This year's lineup kicked off in South Bend and Bloomington and will include 10 stops throughout the state. We have been talking throughout the show about the economic impact of motorsports on the Indianapolis and Indiana economy. Indianapolis Motor Speedway President Doug Boles joining us now again. Doug, big change on the horizon, a new car for the 28th season, right?
Yeah, we're excited about it. This car that we're running today, some form of it's been around since 2012. So we've got a new car that's going to come in 2028. Actually, the first tub has arrived at Dallara here. Those cars will be built here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And by sometime this summer, those cars will actually be on track to begin testing to get ready for the 28th season. So exciting time.
Yeah, and in terms of economic impact, you mentioned a lot of that's going to take place right here in Indianapolis.
So a lot of the car was already built here, but more of the car will now be built here in Indianapolis, which will really be nice. So it's an Italian car, obviously, but a lot of it now is going to be built here, which really connects us further. You know, the racing capital of the world, we need those cars built right here.
Testing, of course, and technical inspections are a big part of the sport. I know you have some investment going on with retrofitting an old building, and will be new technical scanning area.
Yeah, so one of the things that came out of last year's technical infractions was we do it all manually, and there is technology today to really do that through scanning and 3D visualization of the car. So we've taken one of our buildings on the north end, we're going to turn that into a scanning facility. We're going to start testing some of that scanning this year, but by the time we get to 2028, much of the technical inspection that somebody goes through will be scanning, and we can see it in 3D models and make sure everybody's legal.
Doug Boles, great to see you. Look forward to seeing you the rest of the month. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Inside Indiana Business from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We will be back here next week and throughout the month of May talking about the economic impact of motorsports on the Indiana economy. I'm Gary Dick. Thanks for joining us. Go out and make it a successful week.
Get a behind-the-scenes look at Indiana's most influential leaders. On Business and Beyond, we go beyond titles and resumes to explore the personal stories, pivotal moments, and hard-won lessons that shape Hoosier leadership. Hear from the people driving Indiana forward in their own words. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcast or at ibjpodcasts.com.
Want to give your team a real edge?
The IBJ Group Plan delivers unlimited access to every story, every report, every video from IBJ and Inside Indiana Business for your whole team. Cover some or all of your employees with one simple payment. The more you add, the more you save. It's smart, it's flexible, and it saves you up to 30% off the standard rate. Already have IBJ subscribers in your office? Group up and save big. Learn more and get started now at ibj.com/group-plan.